These two have been tramping the city for hours looking for a room. They can't afford to pay a lot, but as they haven't got much furniture, they must have a furnished room. This is the first place they have seen with a sink as well as a gas cooker. But look at it. The draining board is broken so that the dishes will slide off, and the pipe could do with some plumbing. But she is actually pleased with it. Look at the table. It's practically falling to pieces, but it's nothing like as bad as the others they've seen. Still, it's a home, their first home together. It will cost them 18 shillings a week in advance for the room and furniture and the use of a lavatory. And they think they are lucky to find a home at all. But this isn't just one case. All over the country it's the same. Because of the acute housing shortage, the subletting of rooms, furnished or with some service, is happening on a greater scale than ever before. People are paying much more than they can afford, far more than the place is worth, but they are glad to have anywhere to live. Is it fair, while some people must take what they can get, that others should profiteer through this shortage and charge exorbitant rents?
No, it's not fair, but you can do something about it. I did. I'll tell you about it. You see, we live in a furnished room. Things are pretty difficult, and we have to pay a lot for it. Well, one morning, something happened which just about put the lid on it. Time was getting on, and I was late for work. Then, just when I was leaving, a letter arrived from the landlady saying our rent was to go up. No reason, just that she would increase the rent. We were paying 18 and 6 a week already, and just couldn't pay more. I was furious, and felt that the woman should be told what we thought of her. But my wife, you know how they are, she was afraid of doing anything like that in case we were turned out. I hadn't meant to lose my temper with my wife. It wasn't her fault, but I knew I'd have to think of something. I get £4.15 a week, less 10 shillings for income tax, insurance, and the union. That's £4.5. I give the wife 35 bob for the house. That leaves £2.10. Then there's 5 shillings for coal. 10 I keep for myself. Now, if we've got to pay 23 shillings rent, that only leaves 12 for everything else. Clothes and the doctor. And then there's the baby coming. At the town clerk's office, they told me to see the clerk to the rent tribunal and said he would advise me. So on I went. I told the clerk that we rented one furnished room and wanted something done about the rent. The first thing I asked him was, will the landlady be able to turn us out when she hears about it? Because if so, I'm stopping now. We must have somewhere to live. But he was very reassuring and told me that if we hadn't already had notice to quit, we could be protected from eviction and had nothing to fear. Then the clerk showed me the form on which you give the details of the room and the furniture you have and what you pay. He told me they would get in touch with the landlady and then come and inspect our room. He said that if we or the landlady wanted, the case could be heard publicly before the rent tribunal. It wouldn't cost us anything. Otherwise, they would make their decision privately after the inspection. So I said that as far as we were concerned, they could decide it in private. I didn't get much work done that day, but I kept telling myself that if the tribunal was going to help, I wouldn't grudge the pay I would lose. I went home with Joke. He lives in the room next to ours. I thought he might want to try it too, so I told him all about it, but he wasn't so sure. Still, when we got home, I told Mrs. Campbell, the woman in the third room, as well. Jock still didn't want to try it, but she got very interested. And as she was paying a big rent like us, I helped her to set about applying to the tribunal, and she did. We waited 10 days, and then Mrs. Campbell and I had word that they wanted to come and inspect in 3 days' time. Our room was the first they were to inspect, and I was rather looking forward to it. But my wife was nervous. She didn't want a lot of officials poking about her home, nor the landlady for that matter. But the way I looked at it, the tribunal were coming to help us, and I wanted them to see the place exactly as we lived in it. Well, the first to arrive was the landlady. She thought it was a pity we hadn't spoken to her before going to the tribunal, and was very upset. I bet she was. Then the tribunal people arrived and got down to business. They were very polite and asked us before they examined anything. The landlady kept saying how hard it was to get furniture and how lucky we were and all that sort of thing. But then she said we'd been using too much electricity. It's true our wireless comes off the light, but anybody can tell you it doesn't use much current. Anyway, they listened to her and they listened to us. Yes, they certainly saw what the place was like, and we felt quite happy to leave the matter to them instead of having a public hearing. We felt sure they would come to a fair decision. After the inspection was over, we just had to wait. I still wanted Jock to have a crack at it, but he wouldn't have anything to do with it. We kept telling him about the inspections and how we'd all had a fair chance to state our cases, including the landlady, but he wanted to wait and see which way the cat jumped.
That's agreed on then. If we make this reduction in the rent, it'll fit our calculations as to rental, rates, value of the furniture, electricity, cleaning of the common stair, use of the lavatory. It'll still be worth the landlady's while to go on letting. The only thing is the furniture was very poor. Do you think we've allowed too much on it?
No, I think we've been fair.
Are we agreed on this one then?
Yes. We've kept in mind what the landlady said about how much electricity the Frasers used, which was borne out by her bills. It always causes trouble when the gas or light is in with the rent.
That's true. Is there anything else on the agenda?
No, that's the lot for today. I've 5 cases pending. 2 are ready for inspection, and the others are under correspondence.
When were you thinking of for the inspection?
Well, there's that bungalow in the West End. How would Wednesday at 2:30 do?
The first thing I knew about the result was when I saw the landlady's face. From the way she looked, we could guess what had happened. Then we saw Mrs. Campbell waving, and at last Jock saw that there was something in this tribunal business. And there it was. $12 and $6, our new rent. 6 shillings down instead of 4 and 6 up. It was worth a bit of trouble to save that. And besides, now we knew we were paying a fair rent. And the rent isn't just fixed for us. It's fixed for the room. and for whoever comes to live here.